we're all waiting, apparently, for some deal to be announced here. We've been talking about it since late last week on a potential release of hostages. They say could be more than a dozen. At the same time, is Israel waiting for the option to move in with special forces to extract those hostages at this point, or are we beyond that?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that if the opportunity arose for Israel to send their special operators in to get these hostages, that they would wait for negotiations. No, in fact, I think they're very much against any kind of ceasefire or humanitarian pause in the first instance. This is something that's being pushed by Qatar, by Hamas, and candidly, the United States.
But General, when you look at this deal that's on the table, it will include some of those pauses, but at least the sources I'm talking to, this deal has been there for days and really weeks, but at the last moment, it falls apart. Given what we heard from the president today, fingers crossed, and he was giving a signal and insinuating that he thinks they're very close. Do you believe that actually we will see these hostages be freed?
I think we will see a limited number of hostages freed for a small period of time for the humanitarian pause. The Israelis, who typically are affected by international pressure, seem less so in this case, particularly given the events of October 7th. So they're driving a hard bargain, and candidly, Hamas knows that the only thing it has to slow down this offensive are the hostages. So they're looking at each other across the table. They're both trying to maximize their positions.
We heard more about this idea of continuing these pauses from John Kirby today. He spoke at the White House briefing about how this is working. Here he is.
They have instituted, again, at our urging, they've instituted these daily humanitarian pauses. And in some cases, they were supposed to be 4 hours a day. They've actually expanded them up to 7 hours a day. So they're happening on a regular basis, and they're predominantly designed to allow people in the north to move through a couple of safe corridors to the south. So it's the pause to let people get out. That's the principal purpose of that.
Do the pauses compete with the military objectives that Israel has right now?
Absolutely. The humanitarian pauses that are being envisioned give Hamas forces on the ground a chance to recuperate. They've taken a pretty tough fight. It allows them to reposition, allows them to dig in deeper, allows them to reestablish control over their forces. That's the main reason why Israel's pushing back so hard.
What we know right now on the ground, though, General, is that more than 12,000 Palestinians have died. Do you believe Israel has taken civilian lives into account as they've gone into Gaza?
Well, I would also ask the question, do you think Hamas has taken civilian lives into account as they conduct their operations? In my mind, the Israelis have gone well above and beyond the standards of warfare to allow these humanitarian pauses, to allow these humanitarian corridors. I'm not sure this is something that we were considering 45 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor.
So where are we going to go here in the next couple of days? We've spent a lot of time talking about pauses and freeing hostages, but Israel still has an objective to destroy Hamas. They've made clear that that will not happen quickly. But we also haven't seen the full-scale invasion that some expected of Gaza City, for instance. Do you?
Oh, I think this is what we have seen is what we're going to see. I don't think there's any First Armored Division standing right behind them. I think they're going to continue to fight. I think they've lessened and lowered their expectations, and they're now saying the destruction of the Hamas military, which means the military forces in there. But let's be very candid. You have Hamas leadership inside of Qatar. You have an ideology that is promoted by Hamas. You're not going to destroy the ideology. You may take care of this military force, but Hamas ideology will be there well after this operation is over.
General, I want to also ask you about what's going on with Ukraine aid, which at the moment seems like it's really going to struggle in the U.S. Congress. And the Pentagon has this drawdown authority worth $4.9 billion, but what's left of it is $1 billion. And we heard from General Austin today. Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, was in Kyiv. He announced $100 million worth of weapons going to Ukraine. How much left? If it's $1 billion, they just announced $100 million. In terms of timing, does that give the administration to play with in supporting Ukraine?
Look, I think this administration is doing all it can to continue its support for Ukraine, whether it's drawdown authority, which is presidential authority, doesn't need the permission of Congress, or if it's new money that he will have to use his bully pulpit to get out of Congress. I think what Lloyd Austin wants more than anything else is to make sure that the fighters in Ukraine don't see us abandoning them.
We had a conversation last week with Congressman Jake Auchincloss, of course, a Marine combat veteran who speaks passionately about the war in Ukraine, supporting Kyiv in this effort.
Yep.
He said the window is closing rapidly and that Congress might not be able to figure this out in time. If something emerges in December, would that be enough to continue operations in Ukraine without interruption?
Well, let's be very clear about what the operations look like right now.
Sure.
Both sides are stopped. They're in their trenches. They're lobbing artillery at each other. They're not making significant progress, either side on the ground. Mm-hmm. We're getting into the winter season where the fighting slows down considerably. So, first of all, I think we're going to be okay with the money, but even if the money is delayed by some period of time, it's happening at the right time. The winter, the stalemate. If this was a fast-moving maneuver operation, we'd have problems.